to talk about why Justin Fields will improve in 2023. Now, you guys already know that Justin Fields is one of my favorite players in the league. And we don't call him Justin Fields over here. We call him Sir Timothy Fields, because last year Justin Fields was him. Justin Fields should have been a Pro Bowler last year. And I get really irritated when you got all of the Twitter coaches out there and the Twitter GMs out there who say Justin Fields is terrible. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. He can't throw. All he knows how to do is run the football. Like, how good was Justin Fields supposed to throw the football last year when he was throwing to Equinemius St. Brown, Dante Pettis, and the can of Pringles? They literally had one of the worst receiving cores in the whole entire NFL last year. They traded for N'Keal Harry, dog. N'Keal Harry and Chase Claypool. And what did any of those guys do? Absolutely nothing. So how was Justin Fields supposed to throw the ball at an efficient level when he's throwing to the worst receiving core in the NFL? His two best receivers in the passing game last year were Darnell Mooney, who got injured and missed the remainder of the season late in the year, and tight end Cole Kmet, who led the Bears in receiving yards last year. You're telling me you were expecting Justin Fields to light it up in the passing numbers, in the passing department, with what he was throwing to last year? I think you're being a little bit unfair. And how many of you guys actually watched the Chicago Bears? Like, be honest, how many of you guys actually watched the Chicago Bears unless you were a Bears fan? You really telling me that on your Sunday afternoons, you took the time to watch the team who had the worst record in the NFL, one of the worst records in the NFL? I'm just asking the question. I'm waiting for you guys to give me an answer. You really telling me, unless you were a Bears fan, that you watched every single game that Justin Fields played, every single snap, despite the fact that the Bears had one of the worst records in the NFL? Now, you may be asking, JT, you're asking us that question, but did you watch every single game that Chicago Bears played? Yes, I did. You want to know why? Because Justin Fields was my starting quarterback on all of my fantasy football squads. Now, it took him a while to get going. He started going crazy. Did you not see the run that he had against the Philadelphia Eagles? He damn near broke his neck. He broke out of a sack, and he was off to the races. Justin Fields, for him to have the season that he had last year, was really impressive, given the fact that he was tied for being the most sacked quarterback in the NFL with Russell Wilson. He got sacked 55 times last season. So he has one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL, and yet people expected Justin Fields to be lighting the world on fire, throwing the football. How the hell are you supposed to throw the football at a high level if you got a terrible offensive line and a terrible group of wide receivers? Like, make it make sense to me. That's like trying to say 1 + 1 = 3. When it doesn't. It equals 2. And then, here's something that a lot of people like to leave out. The fact that he had to learn a new system really early into his tenure as a starting quarterback for Chicago. Everybody knows that the key to a young quarterback being successful in the NFL is stability. And yet Justin Fields was learning a new system already early into his career. Of course, there were going to be some growing pains. Now, you can say, well, JT, Trevor Lawrence was learning a new system. That's different. He had Doug Peterson, a Super Bowl winning coach, somebody who actually knows what he's doing. And nobody can be any worse than where Urban Meyer was. That's who was coaching Trevor Lawrence his rookie season. So, of course, Trevor Lawrence was going to improve, but most quarterbacks, when they end up having to deal with changes on their coaching staff, such as a new head coach or a new OC, and they have to learn a new system, they oftentimes struggle. Look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones had Matt Patricia as his offensive coordinator. This dude used to be a defensive coordinator. This dude never called plays on offense until last season, and we saw how that went. Look at Marcus Mariota. Do you know how many offensive coordinators that Marcus Mariota went through when he first got drafted by the Tennessee Titans? The dude had a new offensive coordinator damn near every season. Of course, he was going to end up following down the path of being a bust. You got to have stability. You have to have continuity if you want your young quarterback to be successful. Now, this season, Justin Fields goes in to year 2 under Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy's system. So he should be way more comfortable in this offense this year. And Luke Getsy came out and actually said that Justin Fields has took tremendous strides this offseason when it comes to his improvement and his development as a quarterback. In my opinion, Justin Fields should have made the Pro Bowl last year. We're putting guys like Derek Carr and Tyler Huntley in the Pro Bowl, but we're not going to put Justin Timothy Fields in the Pro Bowl? Like, what the hell are we doing? Anybody who watched the Chicago Bears play last season knew that Justin Fields was pretty much the only weapon that the Bears had in their offense outside of Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery. I mean, JT, the Bears didn't throw the football all that often. Well, duh. I mean, would you want to be airing the football out 40 times, 30 times a game with guys like Dante Pettis, N'Keal Harry, and the can of Pringles at wide receiver for you? I want to be throwing the football neither. It's not that I don't think the Bears didn't trust Justin Fields. I just think that they didn't trust the terrible offensive line that he had blocking in front of him and the awful group of wide receivers that he was throwing the football to. Like, if you were Justin Fields, would you want to be throwing the football 30, 40 times a game, throwing to the wide receivers that he was throwing to? I don't think so, man. Like, this season, I'm expecting Justin Fields to take tremendous leaps. You bring in DJ Moore. Yeah, you had to give up the number 1 overall pick and able to obtain them, but hey, you got a proven wide receiver. You got a proven number 1. DJ Moore has been probably the NFL's most underrated wide receiver for the last 3 years, and this guy was cooking with multiple different quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater. So if he can cook with all of the quarterbacks that he had to work with in Carolina, I'm pretty sure he's going to do pretty fine with Justin Fields as his quarterback. And Justin Fields is most definitely going to benefit from having a true number 1 wide receiver, something that he didn't have last season. And you can say Darnell Mooney, but Darnell Mooney at best is a good number 2. Darnell Mooney is not a true number 1 wide receiver. He can be a number 1 at times if, DJ Moore gets injured for a couple of games. You need Darnell Mooney to step up for a game or two. But as far as Darnell Mooney being your wide receiver 1 for the whole entire season, I don't really think you're going to get wide receiver 1 production out of Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney is more of a Robin than he is a Batman. The Batman is DJ Moore. Darnell Mooney is going to be Robin. And then whoever the hell you decide to throw into the slot, whether that be Velus Jones, Chase Claypool, whoever, they're going to benefit from the addition of having DJ Moore because defenses are going to have to key in on him. And now, Justin Fields is actually going to have a legitimate wide receiver to throw the football to. Plus, he's going to have Cole Kmet, who had a really good season last year, although it took him until the second half of the season to really get going. I like what the Chicago Bears have for Justin Fields to throw the football to this season. The offensive line, I don't really think it's going to be too great, but it definitely should be better than what it was last year. I don't think you can get any worse than what you had last year. Like, last year was the bottom of the barrel. He got sacked 55 damn times. You bring in Darnell Wright, who is my number 1 ranked offensive tackle coming out of this past year's draft class from Tennessee. This offensive line for the Chicago Bears, it worries me, but I do have confidence that it's going to be a lot better this season than what it was last year. And Justin Fields, man, don't be surprised if you end up seeing Justin Fields putting up MVP caliber numbers similar to what Jalen Hurts did last season with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I don't think he's going to have as good as a season as what Jalen Hurts had in 2022 because Jalen Hurts had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. He had arguably the best receiver duo in the NFL, Devontae Smith and Buff Batman. And he had an incredible coaching staff. Justin Fields doesn't really have near as much as what Jalen Hurts had to work with. But you look at what he did when he decided to run the football. He had over 1,000 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. Like, this dude at times was a handful for teams to stop. Like, when Justin Fields got going and he was doing it all, throwing the football and running the football with his dual threat ability, He was a headache for defensive coordinators to stop. Like, ask Dan Campbell how hard it was to game plan for Justin Fields. Justin Fields ran all over the Lions one time they played. I mean, the Bears only won 3 games last season. And Justin Fields was a big reason why they won those 3 games. If it wasn't for Justin Fields last season starting at quarterback, the Chicago Bears probably would have went 1-16, maybe 0-17. Justin Fields is going to improve this season. Like, I'm so tired of my guy, Sir Timothy Fields, getting so much hate and not enough people actually trying to take what Justin Fields had to work with into context. The dude was throwing to a man named Byron Pringle. Dante Pettis, like, what the hell has Dante Pettis done in the NFL? N'Keal Harry, this dude is a bust. And this is who Justin Fields was throwing to last season, but yet we want to try to say Justin Fields can't throw. If you're going to judge a quarterback, at least judge them when they have a legitimate supporting cast around them. And he has that this season, so we're going to see what Justin Fields is made of this year with a better group of receivers to throw the football to because of the addition of DJ Moore and with a better offensive line. We're going to see how effective Justin Fields is going to be year 2 in Luke Getsy's system. I expect Justin Fields to take tremendous steps this season. I really get annoyed when you have all of the Twitter GMs looking and trying to judge Justin Fields based off stats, but yet nobody wants to take into context who the hell he was throwing the football to and how bad his offensive line was. How can any quarterback light it up with what Justin Fields had to work with last year? And I'm not giving you excuses. I'm giving you legitimate reasons, people. Legitimate reasons for why Justin Fields had the season that he had last year. He wasn't even that bad. Like, y'all try to make it seem like the dude was a bum. You try to make it seem like he was Mitch Trubisky or Jamarcus Russell. Put some more respect on Justin Timothy Fields. Watch Justin Timothy Fields light it up this year, and I will be drafting him and starting him once again for a second straight season on all of my fantasy football squads. Justin Fields is a beast, and y'all are about to see it, because I have a hard time believing that the majority of the world that's criticizing Justin Fields watched every single game of Chicago Bears football. The same franchise had the number 1 overall pick last year. They had it for a reason. It wasn't by luck. You just don't suck that bad and get the number 1 pick for no reason without being legitimately terrible. And without Justin Fields, the Bears would have been a lot worse last year. Justin Fields is going to improve this season. Mark my words. And this is something that I'm willing to die on the hill about. I'm willing to put some money on it too. Now, I'm not willing to say Justin Fields is going to have an MVP caliber season or anything like that, but he definitely has the potential to. But I doubt that Justin Fields is going to end up being a bum or having a terrible season this year. I believe that Justin Fields is the answer at quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And I can't wait for this season to start. Like, you guys don't know how upset I get when I see people criticizing Justin Fields and nobody ever seems to talk about what the hell he was throwing to. I never hear anybody on ESPN when they were talking about why the Chicago Bears should think about drafting Bryce Young or CJ Stroud and trading away Justin Fields. I didn't hear anybody talking about him having one of the worst receiving corps in the NFL, him being tied for the most sacked quarterback in the league. Like, it just seems like people just wanted to force out Justin Fields just cause. Like, damn, like, some people didn't even know that Darnell Mooney didn't play the whole season. The dude got injured late into the year. He was throwing to N'Keal Harry, Kendall Pringles, and Dante Pettis. Dante Pettis and N'Keal Harry were 2 of the wide receivers that Justin Fields was throwing to. Like, I just can't get up. You can't make this up, man. Like, you really can't make this up. Like, people really are just going to leave out that Justin Fields was throwing to one of the worst receiving corps in the NFL and played behind one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and yet people expected this dude to light it up?